Snakes love to eat birds, especially small chicks, because they're an easy lunch on the way to work. But sometimes, certain birds can give snakes a run for their money, and even put them in their lunchbox at times. If you would like to see what happens when snakes and birds meet, keep watching as we count down the top 15 snake and bird moments. Number 15. Snake versus Roadrunner. The bird circles, spiraling in on its targets, but the snake's not going down without a fight. The plan is to grab the snake behind her head and bash the poor girl's skull in. In this face-off of guts versus venom, it is a draw, and our snake gets away with her life. This Roadrunner takes on a young rattlesnake in the middle of the road. The Roadrunner circles around the snake, but the reptile keeps an attentive eye on the bird. The bird wants to strike, but it must be careful because it's risky. After a few attempts, the Roadrunner manages to make contact and things become easier. The Roadrunner walks away from this fight with a meal, and it's the end of the road for the snake. You can see once this Roadrunner has a hold of the snake how it crushes the snake's head against the ground, breaking its skull and killing it in the process. These birds are smart and they know how to handle a snake.
The Fanatic brings you all the best content you want to see when it comes to the animal kingdom. If you want to see the latest confrontations between animals and the best animal videos, please subscribe now. We post new videos every day for your entertainment.
Number 14. Peacocks versus Snake. This peacock has just encountered a cobra and it's trying to pick it up off the ground. The peacock is not alone, accompanied by a few friends, just to make sure things go smoothly. The snake doesn't move, and the peacocks are wondering why. Perhaps the snake is already dead. If that's the case, the birds catch a lucky break and will get to share a meal. This peacock is fascinated with this black snake. The snake doesn't seem preoccupied by the big bird and continues slithering away without paying attention to it. The peacock lets the snake go by without a worry in the world. It's nice to see two animals respect one another once in a while. Number 13. Snake versus Parrot. The person filming this event had never seen a bird fight a snake before. They were going on a walk looking for birds to photograph when they noticed a gray-headed bush shrike on the dirt road jumping around and flying up and down. As they got closer, they noticed a snake not too far away. The bush shrike and snake started fighting until the snake pretended to be dead. The bird, however, was not so easily duped and the fighting continued. When this pair gets back from the grocery store, it gets the scare of its life when it sees a snake slithering out of its house with the parrot's roommate in its mouth. The parrot flies around in a state of panic, but there isn't much it can do, while the snake tries to swallow the parrot in one gulp. Number 12. Spider-tailed viper eats bird. Because of its elaborated arachnid-like caudal structure, Zooceratus arachnoidesis is known as the Iranian spider-tailed viper. The snake, which has only been seen in western Iran thus far, uses its tail movement for defending and hunting. The structure resembles a moving spider, luring potential prey by moving the tip of its tail. When you look at it, it's quite an ingenious trap, and I can understand how it can lure certain unsuspecting predators without knowing they will become the hunted instead of being the hunter. The spider-tailed viper is a rare venomous snake species. Her tail is unused, resembling that of a spider. When it moves its tail, it attracts the attention of birds and lizards, and when someone approaches to eat this spider, the snake attacks and kills the victim in an instant. By the way, because the locals are already aware of this viper trick, these reptiles primarily hunt migratory birds. Imagine, even the animals have adjusted to this trick. Even in the animal world, the tabloids spread the news quickly. Number 11. Egrets attacked by snake. This blunt-nosed viper attacks its egret, and while the egret tries to escape, the viper latches onto it, preventing it from escaping. The egret tries so hard to fight back, it ends up dragging the snake into the water with it and bites the snake as much as it can. The bird manages to bite the snake hard enough for it to let go, and we can see some blood on the egret's wing, which is certainly the snake's after being bitten by the bird. The egret steps out of the water, but it's in bad shape. I'm not sure if the snake injured the egret, or if the egret was already injured and that's why the snake was able to attack it. But it's only a matter of time before this egret is attacked one more time, and this time it may be the last. Number 10. Snake attack chicks. Our thumbnail shows a snake swallowing a chick. It's actually crushing the tiny bird and will soon be eating it. Young birds like this have no chance against such mighty predators. This chick is screaming for its life while a python begins to swallow it. The poor little bird is begging for mercy, but the snake will not abide because it needs to eat. It almost looks like the bird is resting in the snake's mouth, but when the snake takes the last gulp, the chick disappears. This blood python strangles a poor little chick and proceeds to eat it afterwards. That's the way the constrictors roll, ladies and gentlemen. Some of these birds are born and are killed right away. They barely get to spend time on our planet and are simply food to keep the cycle of life going. This chicken is ambushed by the snake, and it doesn't take much time before the snake coils around the chicken and makes the kill. Chickens are brave, but not when they can't even retaliate. I would have liked to see how this fight began and if the chicken was aware of the snake's presence, or if it was ambushed. Number 9. Gaboon Viper strikes a bird. This gaboon viper isn't picky about what she eats, devouring everything from mice and birds to young antelope and monkeys. It doesn't matter if you make a minor mistake. Once she's set her sights on a subject, there's no getting away from her. Her strike isn't the fastest in the snake world, but it gets the job done at almost 20 feet per second. The attack stuns the bird, and the complex venom cocktail quickly floods its body. As she waits for her meal to die, the snake adjusts her fangs. They can be quite inconvenient from time to time. It's all over in under 10 minutes. That's what I call getting to the point in a jiffy. Number 8. Snake versus birds. This bird is being held by a snake in mid-air as the bird tries to free itself. When another bird, probably the chick's mom, strikes the snake, the reptile lets go of the little bird. I'm not sure if the bird died, but at least its mom did the best it could to try to save it. This bird attacks the snake from above and tries to strike it, but the snake maneuvers well enough to avoid the bird's constant attacks. As much as little birds are vulnerable to snake attacks, adult birds that have an air advantage can do lots of damage to certain snakes. Number 7. Cockatoo versus snake. These sulfur-crested cockatoos look like rock stars with their funky hairdo and beautiful white plumage, but they're also great at fighting snakes. These two have spotted a snake in the grass and have decided to teach it a lesson. A third bird flies in to share the fun. It looks like the cockatoos called a meeting because they're all arriving one after the other. It's enough to get rid of the snake and once again have a little peace of mind. Now it's time to get some real gel in that hairdo. Number 6. Snake versus Yucatan Jay. This fight between a snake and a Yucatan Jay is spectacular. But what's more spectacular are the colors of these two beautiful specimens. The snake is a crazy green color and the jay is a beautiful black and blue. The snake doesn't want to fight and it's just standing in a defensive position, but the bird attacks non-stop. When the snake makes a run for it and tries to get away, the bird bites the snake in different areas of its body. But the snake finally gets away and the bird can't seem to locate it. I'm kinda glad both creatures survived this time. Number 5. Woodpecker versus snake. This tree hole is home to a pair of Sunda pygmy woodpeckers with at least one nestling inside the refuge. However, Southeast Asia is home to a few arboreal tree snake species, and some of these will inevitably seek out avian nests and feed on small birds. The golden tree snake, one of the few arboreal snakes capable of gliding flight, but not a native snake to Singapore, was probably introduced via the pet trade and managed to locate a Sunda pygmy woodpecker nest. While the parent birds were away, the golden tree snake crept in and snatched the baby bird. Later in the video, the parent birds attempted but failed to swipe and peck at the golden tree snake while in flight. Unfortunately, the nest has remained empty until present day. I guess no other animal wanted to live there where they know a murder was committed, sorta like humans. This woodpecker is building his house and the snake pops out of the window. How freaky is that? The woodpecker is pissed and attacks the snake. When the snake thinks the woodpecker has abandoned house, the woodpecker ambushes the snake from the side and pecks on it a few more times, before the snake grabs the woodpecker by the neck for a few seconds. To be continued. Number 4. Snake attack bulbul nest. This snake sneaks up to this nest and grabs the chicks inside, after which the snake leaves the area with the chicks in its mouth. When the mother arrives to feed her chicks, she finds the nest empty. I guess she's surprised and it seems like she has no clue what happened. She looks inside the nest as if she's hoping the birds will magically reappear. I guess she's in denial and can't accept the fact that she has lost her little babies. Number 3. Snake versus crow. This crow is messing with the snake's mind. The crow keeps going back and forth. It's making the snake dizzy, but it never tries to strike the snake decisively. The snake remains defensive and just doesn't want to be bothered. It's not looking for trouble and it wants to be left alone, but the crow is making sure it's not. Crows can be royal pains in the butt sometimes. These two crows find a small snake on the street, and they attack it from all sides. The snake is trying to survive and looking for a way out, but the two birds constantly peck at it. The snake manages to get onto the sidewalk, but then one of the crows grabs it and throws it back onto the street. The snake is tiring up, but it still puts up a fight and slowly tries to get back to the sidewalk. At one point, when it leans against the blue part of the sidewalk, the crows calm down. But I'm sure this isn't over and the birds are just taking a break. The snake better be ready, because I think the crows would be coming back for a second round. This snake looks like it's posing for this crow. The only problem is the crow didn't bring his camera gear. The crow walks around contemplating while the snake remains still. These two make an adorable couple. They're just too funny. Number 2. Snake attacks baby birds. This whip snake snatches a baby bird, and even though the bird is screaming, the snake begins to eat it. The bird's parents are nowhere to be seen, so the little fella is not getting any help, and it could be the end of the road for him. When I look at the snake though, it looks like it's having a little trouble swallowing the bird. Maybe it took on something bigger than it could chew. This snake gets right into a nest and eats all the contents of the nest. We can't see exactly how many birds are in there, but the snake seems to be getting his money's worth. When the snake leaves the nest, it is completely empty. This footage provides a rare glimpse into nature's rawness and unforgiving side. A hungry tiger snake fights a pair of woolly wagtails on a tree and steals all 4 young from their nest. The encounter took place in suburban Melbourne, Australia, and lasted 30 minutes. This is just a small glimpse into the amazing and rarely seen behavior of wild animals. It's too bad for the birds, but I guess you win some and you lose some. Hopefully the bird parents will be able to start a new family again. Number 1. Snake versus eagle. I have seen many eagles kill snakes, but this time it's the other way around. This snake looks like it's making chop suey with an eagle, and the eagle is taking its final breath. It is also possible that the bird of prey was already dead, and the snake found it this way. This owl has the fear of God in its face, but you would chew if you got up in the morning and a huge python was in your bed about to eat you. I can't believe the look on the owl's face though. This could easily be a scene in an animal horror film. This snake found a worthy opponent in this park, and it's being taught a lesson. The eagle stomps on the snake, and it looks like the snake isn't going anywhere. While the eagle holds the snake down, it pecks on it and is probably considering eating it, but it hasn't decided yet. The snake must regret going to this park, but heard great things about it and wanted to see if it was true. Instead, it was mugged by an eagle and will almost probably never see the light of day again. Some of these encounters were downright scary, but my favorite was the woodpecker trying to defend his house when the snake popped out of it. Which one was your favorite? Why don't you let us know in the comments below. Well, that's it for our countdown of the top 15 snake and bird moments. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.